Here's the nervous system brain model. Today I will be showing you go about halfway down the list to the third ventricle. This is left side of the brain, right side of the brain. This is the frontal lobe, frontal lobe, frontal lobe, frontal lobe, temporal lobe, temporal lobe, temporal lobe, temporal lobe. Then we got the parietal lobe, parietal lobe, parietal lobe. Then we got the occipital lobe, occipital lobe, occipital lobe, occipital lobe, occipital lobe. Next, we got the longitudinal fissure. This is the longitudinal fissure, the longitudinal fissure, longitudinal fissure, longitudinal fissure, longitudinal fissure, longitudinal fissure. We got the motor area, which is right here. This is the motor area, motor area, motor area. Sensory, this is the sensory area, sensory area, sensory area, sensory area. Cerebellum, number 6. This is the cerebellum, 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 cerebellum. And we got the cerebral gyrus, 7 through 9. Cerebral gyrus. Okay, that's on the front left side of the brain. 7, 8, 9. This is cerebral gyrus, cerebral gyrus, cerebral gyrus, central sulcus. Here's the central sulcus. It divides the red and the blue half. Central sulcus, central sulcus, central sulcus, central sulcus. Right there. And then we got the lateral sulcus. You look down on the left side of your head by where your ear might be. This is the lateral head of the sulcus. Lateral head of the sulcus. Lateral sulcus, or lateral sulcus, lateral sulcus, lateral sulcus. This is the lateral sulcus, right there. Then we got the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum. 41 through 43. You're gonna have to split the head open. It'll be on the left side of the brain. Split the head open, left side of the brain. 41 through 43 is the corpus callosum, corpus callosum, corpus callosum, corpus callosum. It's this right here, corpus callosum. Then we got the fornix, number 45. This is the fornix. The fornix. Fornix. This is the fornix. Fornix. Then we got the third ventricle, which will be on the right side of the split brain side here. Here's the third ventricle. 113, right there on the brain stem. This is the third ventricle, third ventricle, third ventricle, the third ventricle. Number 47 is the intermediate mass. That'll be on the left side. This over here. Here's number 47. This is the intermediate mass, intermediate mass, intermediate mass, intermediate mass. So on the left side of our left brain, we got the thalamus, number 49. This is the thalamus, 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 thalamus. We got the pineal gland, number 54. It's right here, this pink thing. This is the pineal gland, pineal gland, pineal gland, pineal gland. Then we got this cerebral aqueduct. That's right here. It's between the third and fourth ventricle. This is the cerebral aqueduct. Cerebral aqueduct. Cerebral aqueduct. Cerebral aqueduct. And we got the ventricle number 59. Right here. This is the ventricle, the ventricle, the ventricle, the ventricle. Then we got, actually that's the fourth ventricle. Fourth ventricle, fourth ventricle, fourth ventricle. And then we got the arbor vitae. Arbor vitae. 61. This is the arbor vitae. Arbor vitae. Arbor vitae. Arbor vitae. Then we got the vermis right here. This is the vermis, number 62. Vermis, 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 vermis. Next, we got the medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata, 63 through 64. On the left side of the brain, here's 63, 64, 67. This is 63 through 64. So those two right there. That's the medulla oblongata, medulla oblongata, medulla oblongata, medulla oblongata, medulla oblongata. Then we got the pons, 65 and 66. That's right here. This is the pons, 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 pons. Medulla oblongata, pons. Next, we got 71 through 72. The hypothalamus, 71 through 72. This is the hypothalamus, the hypothalamus, the hypothalamus. This is the hypothalamus. Next, we got the lateral ventricles, 88 and 89. Lateral ventricles. That'll be on the right brain, where this thing comes off here, the thing that the cerebellum is attached to with the brain stem. Take that off, and then here's number 88 and 89. It's called the lateral ventricles, lateral ventricles, lateral ventricles, lateral ventricles. Next, we got the pituitary gland. This will be that thing that the cerebellum was attached to. 115, right there. That's how it normally look. This is the pituitary gland, the pituitary gland, pituitary gland. It's the pituitary gland. Next, we got the brain stem, number 126. And that's this right here. This is the brain stem. The brain stem, the brain stem, brain stem, brain stem. Next, we got the superior collicus. Superior collicus. So that's what it normally looks like. We'll flip it over, and it'll be right there. Superior collicus. Number 100. This is the superior collicus, superior collicus, superior collicus, superior collicus. Then we got the inferior collicus, which is right there, 101. Inferior collicus, inferior collicus, inferior collicus. Inferior collicus, superior collicus.